head boots and heels.
I'm boots.
I'm heels. Lot going on, folks. Lot going on out there.
Kind of makes your head spin. Like
you know what? I'm tired of my head spinning. It's giving me a headache.
Me too. It's like the Linda Blair and The Exorcist. It just keeps on and on
looking
and on.
for good news. I mean, just anything good. I mean, other than getting the 2024 run for president from President Trump. That was good news. I think it was good news.
Yeah, there's good news. There's a lot of good news out there.
But yeah, I mean, there's just I don't know. I was happy about getting the House. I was happy about that, and I do see some changes coming with McCarthy, as we reported last week and we talked about last week. But I mean, I just keep digging in, and everything I'm finding is just more and more craziness. Fauci leaving, and the closer we get to him departing, the more in line with his bank account that the public is starting to become. Very, very wealthy dude.
if you want tax returns for people running for president, then people like Fauci have to turn in theirs too.
Yeah, I mean, why should he be like not? Why should he not have to do that? I mean, they've had to really dig to get
of course they have, because they don't want to disclose how someone who on a salary of what he makes has amassed the kind of wealth that he's amassed, which is typical for all these crazies on Capitol Hill.
Well, and think about it. I mean, really, his information has killed a lot of people. I mean, really, why is there not criminal charges brought against him? I mean, they know it. They already know it. It's been traced back that they know it. So,
because they all knew. Because they all knew. They're all in on it. They all knew. I'm kind of happy to be alive. Really,
we should all be celebrating life right now that we even got through it.
Yeah,
and we may not have gotten through it because they keep coming up with this and that and the other, and then you got Biden flying over there and talking to China about climate change and nothing about COVID. Like literally nothing about COVID. There was no reports. Jean-Pierre said nothing.
The Chinese care about climate change?
I mean, that's my point. My point is it's so crazy that you would think if you're going to make that connection and you're going to go there, you would actually sit down and want to know the origin of COVID and talk about the disaster across America that it caused. But they already know the answer, so why ask the question if they already know the answer? We're never going to know.
The climate change meeting, I wonder if anybody's luggage got stolen. I mean, these crazies, they have all kinds of fetishes for. You had Melania's underwear drawer being rifled through by the FBI, and then you got this nutcase that steals a woman's luggage in the Baltimore airport.
Oh my God! It's insanity. Then you got the drag queen fairy tale stories to the children and they're hiring Antifa as the guards. Have you seen that? I mean, they're hiring Antifa.
Nothing
you got Antifa in their little, black capes and their little black, hoodies around they barely can see their eyes, because they disguise themselves because they're despicable and, they're armed, but they're armed, these people who are so against guns and everything, but they're armed.
Of course they are.
Protecting the drag queens. Who are,
the big fat men
sexualizing our children. The big fat men,
the big fat men dressed
with beards, with lipstick. I don't know. Anyway.
Right, that are influencing your children are protected by Antifa. Go figure.
Go figure.
No one. Okay, the people that made the screenplays for all the 70s disaster movies or movies like Omega Man or all the movies that Charlton Heston were in, all the futuristic doom and gloom end of society, end of humanity movies could not have made this up.
No. What about Sam Bankman-Fried and the defrauding of billions of dollars from all of these investors and absolutely being able to trail that money straight back to the Democratic Party to basically
laundering money through
it is.
What country and what war. I don't want to say it because we'll get banned.
We might not be able to say that and stay on air, but, for sure.
The money being diverted and used for not what it was supposed to be.
Well, they funded the midterms for the Democratic Party. That's exactly what happened. Tens of millions of dollars. And they already know that. I mean, there is usually a paper trail when it comes to money, but no one's going to ever be arrested. I can tell you that's not going to happen. And really, let's think about this, and let's just go ahead and say it now. He didn't kill himself.
Right.
Okay. He didn't kill himself. So we want to just be able to say that we said that he didn't kill himself, because it's probably what's next.
And when you look at the background of that guy,
oh my God,
and who funded him and who helped him become this mogul by the time he was in his 20s, it's crazy.
Well, it's all crazy, but I mean, simply put, can you imagine being an American, even, let's say you're a business person and you're putting your money into something that you think, it's going to, obviously you're not going to do it to not profit, to profit. And then what if you're a conservative and you did that and you made an investment, just a business investment, and then you find out not only do you lose your millions and billions overnight, you lose your investment, but you also help fund the wrecking of America.
Right.
I mean, can you imagine being that person, waking up to that news and like,
Probably
my God,
Probably not a good feeling.
Probably not a good feeling. So, I mean, there's just so much craziness going on right now. It's unbelievable. I tell you what, though, we kind of check in on Brazil and what's happening over there. I mean, with the former president Lula, who was incarcerated and put in prison for, laundering money too as well, and then also, of course, corruption. And then the Supreme Court freed him so that he could run again. And he won.
Which
won.
But they also have an election integrity problem. In Brazil, and there have been a lot of questionable practices with their election machines, which actually happen to be some of the same election machines that we have here.
These people in Brazil, I mean, like all of them, are on the streets right now. I mean, they're literally storming down the streets. They are, have you seen it? It's like,
there are protests all over the world. And Americans don't know about it because the propaganda outlets that we have
the videos are banned.
Right. They don't want you to know. But I mean, there's protest in Brazil over the fraudulent election there.
Huge.
There are lots and lots of protests and people being murdered in China over the COVID protests going on in the streets there, to the point of locking people up in their apartments.
People are starving. They're starving
them to death.
They can't even come out.
Well, and they've had even fires in these apartment buildings and people burning to death because they're locked in from the outside. So, I mean, you've got craziness all over.
You do.
And, I don't want it happening here.
Yeah, but it's true. They're even beating animals to death because they're calling them unclean. And, this was all reported to Fauci very early on. And actually his comments, some of the comments that he made back then was, actually he acted like he liked the way that things were governed over there. And so it's no surprise to me that he is, we're uncovering what we are about Fauci because of that. But back to Brazil, just as a footnote here, you got the same Supreme Court now who has, the minister of the Supreme Court, who has ordered all the bank accounts of every single person that's protesting
frozen.
They can't even get into their bank accounts. You don't think that can't happen in America? I mean, I absolutely see these things coming. And it's been happening. We've been being fed small doses of it in comparison, sure, to a lot of other countries, but it is definitely a trail blazing right now to this kind of life because this is what they're after.
We've seen that. We've seen the use of digital currency and surveillance and everything in communist China. Now it's happening in other pockets of the world, which, the propaganda machine doesn't want you to know. And then you've got, here in America, people talking about digital currency, and the problem is even conservatives are hooked on convenience and things that are easy, and because there's a lot of apathy and laziness going on in this world, and so people that don't even want to keep track of their own cash, swiping a card or whatever is really easy. So there are even lots of conservatives that love the idea of digital currency because it makes things easy for them, because for Christ's sake, they don't even want to carry a wallet and they don't want to keep track of their own money. How bad can it possibly be? But, ease and convenience can lead to some pretty sinister things, as we've seen, and we're seeing it all over the world.
Well, it's developing that way with fingerprints on your phones, your smartphones now, shooting a laser into your retina so that they can scan your retina at the airports now. I mean, it is happening. I mean, and we're being fed, like I said, little doses of this, all the way down the line. And right now we are in line and we are in trouble. We really are in trouble.
It's very much in trouble.
Because
I mean,
everything's being normalized anyway. I mean, we're getting very used to this and being uniformed and robotic-like and all of that. So, yeah.
Conditioned. Americans are being conditioned to accept the unacceptable. And so, wake up.
I mean, just in the last 7-8 years, it's just been fast forward. I mean, it's just crazy what's happening. But anyway, we wish we just had some good news. I mean, we do have some good news because Christmas is on its way and the birth of our Jesus Christ. So of course that's something to celebrate. And we're definitely going to try to do some more things, more on the lighter side of things here real soon. We've got several things coming up with animals. There's a spay and neuter drive that we're going to be helping with, a sweater drive for homeless folks' dogs. Before anybody says anything like they shouldn't have one, let me just give you a little different perspective on that. Maybe the only thing keeping them warm, keeping each other company, and honestly, most of the homeless people that I've run into that are purely homeless, they love their dog more than they love themselves. And getting a sweater or getting something for their dog, it means the world to them. So we'll be actively working on that this year. So got lots of things like that.
One of the comments that we hear a lot is. They can't even take care of themselves. They shouldn't have an animal. Well, you know what? Sometimes people like that end up with pets because people like you or people don't properly take care of the ones they have. They don't spay and neuter. You've got breeders that are unchecked and out of control.
Absolutely.
These people that don't have any means at all end up with these pets and they love them dearly. So our thought is, you know what, you've got someone who's desperately trying to take decent care of their pet. Let's help them do that.
Let's help them do that.
Let's help them do that.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So we'll give you some more information on that a little bit later. But that's one of our passions, and we're going to work on that really hard to get through the Christmas season. And honestly, about 2 weeks ago, we always get the same worry within 6 weeks of Christmas. I guess, am I right on the calendar? We really do get concerned because people are breeding their animals to give away for Christmas presents. So a little caution here. A dog or an animal is not a Christmas present because you are making a long time commitment if you are getting an animal. And a lot of what happens a lot of times is these animals are discarded after the joy is, the fun is wore off.
Well, or even what these breeders do to get the dogs that are sellable, or what happens to the ones that they consider not sellable, or the ones out of the litter that don't sell. They really do 9 times out of 10 face a very, very grave future if they have a future at all. They get passed around, they get discarded, they're homeless, they're this, they're that. I mean, even if it comes down to their coat not having the right colors, or their eye color not being what someone wants.
Yeah, how awful.
Or this, or that. It's really horrible, and you see so much of that. And if a lot of people just really aren't aware, so we're just trying to help people become aware of what happens to pets that are discarded from breeders.
So if you have a heart and you want to join in on that, you can go over to Pets No Politics. You can go over to our website, redbootsandheels.com, and you can donate there, and we'll be happy to buy a sweater on your behalf. And if you let us know in the comment section or even on a private message who you are and what you did, we will absolutely thank you, and we do thank you.
Yeah, we do thank you. Because some people do.
Yeah. That renews my spirit in people too. And give it to the dog, and I'm happy.
Yeah, right?
Absolutely. But anyway, I guess you have anything else to say, Boots?
Really? No.
All right.
I don't.
Okay. All right. So until next time, we'll see you then. God bless you, and God bless America.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.